that so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Very, very nice. Thank you very much. Kelsey Walter, thank you very much. Please be seated, everyone. And thank you, Randy Runyon and Solid Brass, for another great job. Appreciate it. Welcome to the College of Southern Maryland's 58th Spring Commencement. My name is Brad Gottfried, and I am thrilled to be the president of the College of Southern Maryland. This is a difficult time for me. I'm on the eve of retirement, so if my voice wavers a bit, it's an emotional time, so hopefully you'll understand. Before I introduce our graduates, and we are so very proud of our graduates, I'd like to recognize a number of special guests who are here with us this evening. From our Board of Trustees, Dorothea Smith, our board chair. You'll be hearing from her in a little bit. Vice chair, and please hold your applause if you would. Ted Hardwood, vice chair. Brad Bates, Lois DiNatale, Margaret Dunkel, Dr. John Roach. We also have a former board member, and that is Mary Krug, and Janice Walthour may be with us as well. From President's Council, Dr. Eileen Abel, Dr. Bill Comey, Dr. Rich Fleming, Michelle Goodwin, Dr. Tracy Harris, Tony Jernigan, Dr. Dan Mosser, and Craig Patnaud. We have a number of foundation directors. How many of our graduates have received a scholarship from the college? Let me see some hands. And it's because of our foundation board that works so diligently to support our graduates. With us today is Greg Cockerham, who is Director Emeritus, Linda Cox, James DeMisa, Ruth Ann Farrell, the birthday boy, Jay Lilly, Dixie Miller, and Dr. Ela Shaw. And the chair of the foundation board is Renee Franklin. We also have Rob Price all the way from Delaware, and it's always special to have Rob with us. Elected officials who are always there to support us. Dr. Edith Patterson, who's delegate, District 28 in Charles County. The Honorable Peter Murphy, Commissioner President of Charles County. The Honorable Brandon Palin, also a student of ours, who is mayor of the town of Indian Head. The Honorable Susie Proctor, delegate of District 27A, Prince George's and Charles County. We have a number of individuals from our advisory councils. Rob Carpenter is with us. We have Dr. Diana Abney, the health officer from Charles County. The Honorable Sheriff Troy Berry, who attends every one of our commencements and is one of our alums as well. Thank you, Troy. Junior Harris and Jerry Pueller, very strong supporters of the college. We have Guffrey and Casey Smith from our Diversity Advisory Council. Dr. Janice Walthour, I've mentioned. We have Andy Rogers from Mechatronics Advisory Council, Matt Scassero, also Mechatronics, Paula Searles, Early Childhood Development, Jerry Wiley, Information Technology. We also have Karen Piper Mitchell, who's the president of the Salami Howard Bar Association, Joan Middleton, and Scott and Wendy Whitney, who are wonderful supporters of our college and our Presidential Scholars Program. And my wife, Linda Gottfried. I never want to forget her. And if I've forgotten anyone, my apologies. And the bottom line is, we're all VIPs. You're all very, very special. And I want to thank you for being here this evening. We have a hard-working group of legislators, individuals from the community who work so diligently to support the college, support our graduates, and that's why we take time at the very beginning to recognize them. I'd like to recognize our 2017 graduating class. It is our largest ever. Give them a round of applause if you would. And one of the nicest things I can say is every single year I can say that this class is the largest, so we continue to grow the size of the number of graduates at the college, and we're very, very proud of all of them. We actually have 601 candidates for degrees and certificates this evening, and well over 300 are going to be walking across the stage this evening. We're also excited because there's a new milestone here. How many of you have seen our new campus, our Center for Trades and Energy Training, the first building at Hughesville? Let me see some hands. It's by the Harley-Davidson dealership, right across the street on Route 5, and it's providing trades training for people from Calvert, from St. Mary's, and from Charles County, and that's what this college is all about. But for the first time, we're recognizing 18 apprenticeship completers. They've met all the requirements to sit for their journeyman license exam, including 4 years of classroom instruction and on-the-job training. And this is a milestone because in the past, we have only recognized credit graduates, but our non-credit graduates in the trades are equally important to us, and we're making a major statement this evening. Most of our graduates are women, which is not unusual, about 61%. Our oldest graduate is 69 years old. Now, a few years ago, I would have thought that was old. I'm being 67, that's a kid. Our youngest is just 18 years old. And every one of these students has a dream. Some of them want to go into law, some want to go into medicine, some want to go into teaching, IT, criminal justice. It spans the spectrum. And these graduates intend to use their knowledge and experience to make a difference in Southern Maryland. And that's why this college is so important. The vast majority, almost 90% of students who graduate from this college will come back, if they transfer, and settle in Southern Maryland. And parents and friends, you know we want to have them back here close to home. Let me tell you a little bit about our graduates, if I might. At 69, our oldest graduate celebrates earning a nursing degree. And his retirement plan was not sitting on his porch counting cars going by. His plan is a wonderful one. It's to work with hospice, to work to maintain his patients' quality of life in the last days of their lives. He wants to ensure that they receive the best possible treatment, and I can't think of anything more special than that. Another one of our students is an engineering student who is a member of our competitive robotics team, the Talons. They almost won the international championship. We should be very, very proud. They have beat the likes of Purdue University and University of Pennsylvania, etc. This gentleman plans to go on and earn his bachelor's and master's degree in engineering, and his dream is to get an internship with NASA to work to develop robotic arms that can be used to remotely service spacecrafts and satellites. We have several presidential scholars graduating this evening, our first ones, and one of them is working to become an elementary school teacher in special education. And she has a personal reason to do this. She has a brother with autism, and she wants to be an advocate for students like him in the school district. We have, and I just learned about this earlier today, among our nursing graduates, a mother and a daughter. I don't know if we've ever had that before. Another of our nursing graduates is the wife of a disabled veteran. Her goal is to eventually become a nurse midwife or a sexual assault nurse examiner. And she says she may even continue on to get the doctorate and become a nurse practitioner. And she's been looking forward to tonight and this commencement ceremony. She said, "This is not just a celebration of graduating college. This is a celebration of the journey I and my family have been on these past 3 years." Another one of our graduates was inspired by nurses who taught her father how to breathe, walk, and live again after a severe heart attack. Another one of our graduates who wants to make a difference in our society. She wants to go into pediatrics and to give back. And finally, one of our graduates is a career changer. After working in community journalism for more than a decade, she's completely shifted careers, and she's graduating this evening with hopes to become an English teacher. Her goal is to eventually work in a local middle school, helping area students love great literature and pass on the rules that govern good writing. These are just a handful of stories, and what really touches me as president is every single one of our students has a dream to live a positive, good, healthy, productive life. And I wish I could tell you about all of them, but we are so very proud of them. What I don't talk about, and what I really would like to, it's not part of the script, is we have many students who are taking one class a semester. We have many students who are taking a full load, and they're graduating 2 years. But imagine taking one class every semester, and in some cases, it takes them 10 years. Talk about perseverance to get the associate degree. I want to take a brief moment to salute some others who are graduating from the college, and these are some of our faculty members who are moving on to another life, that part of life that's called retirement. Athena Miklos, Professor, Business and Technology. Ellen Bertelson, Professor, Health Sciences. Dr. Richard Beers, Professor, Mathematics, Physics and Engineering. And Dr. Arthur Vitorito, Professor, Social Sciences and Public Services. I want to wish the best of luck to all of you. We will miss you, and I want to thank you for your contributions. What you have done and what all of the faculty have done has produced another wonderful group of graduates. And I want to take this opportunity to recognize all of our faculty and all of our staff. You know how committed they are, you know how they go the extra mile, and this is your opportunity to thank them. So I'd like the graduates, if you would, to recognize your faculty and your staff who work so diligently to get you to where you are today. This is the part that I really hate to get into, because on a more solemn note, we've had to say goodbye during this past year to too many of our students who have passed this year, who never had the opportunity to join our graduates. Kendall Proctor, Colin Bypat, Desmond Cook, Linda Long, Sherry Lynn Bunnell, and Monique Moss have passed this past year. If we could have a moment of silence to recognize them, please. Thank you. For so many of you, coming to the College of Southern Maryland has been a challenge. Many of you are working, some of you are working full-time, most of you are working. Many of you have families, all of you have friends, and all of you have commitments. Yet you have taken the time to further your education because you realize the importance of getting this degree or this certificate. And I want to recognize you for this, but hopefully you realize that this is just the beginning, that learning must be lifelong, and hopefully you will continue on in the future and continue your education. And even if you receive the terminal degree, again, learning is lifelong. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Faculty Senate President, Mike Green, who'd like to address our graduates. Mike?
Good evening. I am currently reading the book, The Death of Expertise, The Campaign Against Established Knowledge and Why It Matters by Tom Nichols, a professor of National Security Affairs at the U.S. Naval War College. Nichols points out that we in the U.S. have always had a healthy skepticism and at times a downright distrust of experts, but that today there is a dangerous open hostility between experts and citizens. He believes that experts and expert knowledge are indispensable to our nation's continued existence as a free democratic republic and to our daily lives. Certainly, as economics teaches us, there are too many jobs to be done for each of us to do everything for ourselves, especially when each of these jobs requires specialized knowledge. The problem today, Nichols believes, is that armed with a combination of miseducation, the internet, and narcissism, we've come to believe that we each do or can do with the proper amount of Googling and the proper amount of self-confidence everything well, that we don't need experts. For example, I bet there are many in attendance here today that thinks he or she can successfully run a company or even a college, but really very few can. Doing so requires the expertise that only comes through education, training, practice, and experience. I would like to thank Dr. Gottfried for putting his expertise to use running this college for the last 11 years, and ask that all of you join me in applauding his work and the resulting achievements, the most recent of which is the opening of the regional campus in Hughesville, and wishing him well. At one of the most important moments of today's ceremony, if you listen carefully, you will hear that we, the faculty, state by approval that each of you have obtained a level of knowledge in your chosen programs to be certified by certificate and degree. Nichols, if he was here, would point out that this does not make any of you an expert in your field, and that you should now have the education and hopefully the humility to know that. I do think that he would say you've taken an important step towards helping to save the Republic, as education and continued lifelong learning for all is key for the productive engagement and mutual respect between the elite and the society they serve. So graduates, continue your learning. Continue to share your knowledge with those closest to you. Maybe even work to become expert in your chosen field. If you do, then maybe we'll continue to have the democratic republic that Benjamin Franklin and others willed to us, but that Franklin wondered if we could keep. Congratulations and good luck to you all.
Thank you, Mike. Now I'm honored to introduce our student speaker, Fanta Isotu Guy. Thank you for her. She is this spring's youngest graduate, having just celebrated her 18th birthday last Monday. Coincidentally, she was also the youngest graduate in her high school class 2 years ago, across an ocean in the Republic of the Gambia. She was born in New York City, but moved at a very young age to her father's homeland in Africa. She grew up there, visiting the United States only during summer breaks. It was on one of these trips that she was encouraged to start her college career by her aunt living here in the States, who described a great college that's nearby. That great college was the College of Southern Maryland. And so Fanta Isotukai crossed the Atlantic to live with her aunt in Waldorf and attend CSM. Tonight, she graduates with her associate degree in general studies, and she will continue her studies this fall at the University of Maryland, Baltimore campus. Her goal is to study international relations and potentially work as an ambassador. Please welcome her as this evening's student speaker.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor and pleasure of mine to be standing before you on this glorious evening. First, I want to thank God. I also want to thank my family for being here, and I want to thank Miss Karen Smith-Hupp for giving me this opportunity. Furthermore, I want to extend huge congratulations to all my fellow graduates. I know that the road has not been easy, but we've made it, so congratulations to all of us. It's a fact that many of us, especially us youth, spend a significant amount of our free time on the internet. I know I'm guilty of that. The first point on my 2017 New Year's resolution was to spend more time outdoors. And then my TV was like, you're crazy, forget about it. And so I did. But it's summer, so I'm about to make a comeback. I like to watch YouTube videos especially. I remember one time while I was doing my research, because I like to Google stuff, I like to YouTube things like how to manifest straight A's without studying, but then I end up studying because the tips suck, but it was worth a shot. Anyway, while I was doing my research, I stumbled upon this YouTube video by this YouTuber called Conan Gray, and he said something that really stuck with me and resonated with me because it was a reflection of my life. He said, he said, and I quote, I like to think of my life in pieces because it's been picked up and moved around and rearranged so many times that you can barely even tell that it's been lived in the same lifetime. See, I like to think of my life in clips, and once one clip ends, a new one would begin, completely new. I would be in a whole new environment, have to socialize with a whole new group of people. I would love to sit here and illustrate every single clip for the whole night, but for the sake of time management, I will condense all of these clips into just 2 movies. So the first one is my childhood. As stated, I was born in New York, and from a very early age, my parents and I moved back to their native country, the Gambia, West Africa. I will rally my experiences through the observations and the lessons I've learned growing up in this type of society. My culture emphasized spirituality, they emphasized education, they emphasized manners, and basically respecting one another. At home, we bonded by eating a meal in one big bowl. So when it was time to eat, it would be served in a big dish, and we'll all sit on the ground and eat together. We were taught to allocate dignity with everyone we met, regardless of gender, regardless of age, regardless of social status. I learned to use my time wisely because of unstable resources like electricity. And all of these things taught me discipline, they taught me efficiency, productivity. I graduated high school at 16, as was stated, and I moved to Maryland and enrolled at CSM. I would come to America every summer, but this was the first time that I was coming without my mother to live with my aunt, whom I had never met before. Surprisingly, most of my emotion was enthusiasm and excitement, not because I didn't love my life in Gambia, but because I craved something new and different. My mom, on the other hand, was just sobbing in the airport, squeezing the last oxygen out of me. And I'm just thinking like, Mom, get it together. I got this, okay? I got this. So some initial observations. Many things taken for granted here were treasured in Gambia, and many things treasured in Gambia were taken for granted here. The environment here at CSM was way more tranquil than I expected or saw in movies, so that took away like 40% of my anxiety. I walked in class, and the teachers were just so enthusiastic. Like, they were so ready to teach. I'm like, wow, this is so strange. Why are you so happy? The class ends, and they're like, if you guys have any questions, just email me. Come to my office anytime during my office hours. I'll be glad to help you. I'm like, wow. Everyone's just packing their bags. It's normal, and I'm just, like, celebrating on the inside. This is so great. Because I had been so used to such a strict and difficult educational system in Gambia. It was beneficial in some ways, but I was highly appreciative towards the concerns my professor showed and the abundant resources and encouragement I was given to succeed. Furthermore, I had to figure out how to retain my identity as well as feel a sense of belonging in this new environment. I learned to love and be proud of my heritage, to not compromise my values and beliefs for anything. But then I learned to be more open minded, to be open to new ideas and new cultures and new ways of thinking. Most importantly, I realized the importance of putting yourself out there, going beyond your internal limitations and reaching for things that seem outside of your box or outside of your comfort zone. As each semester went by, I noticed that I was making great improvements academically, socially, and so on. Here, no one knew who I was, and I could have been whoever I wanted to be, but I decided that I wanted to make a name for myself, and I wanted to be remembered positively here at CSM. If I was to title this second movie I just explained, I would title it The Foreign Experience. This is something that each and every one of us has experienced or will experience in the future. Some of us graduates are transferring to a new university that we have known nothing about. Some of us are going into new careers that we are very foreign to. 2 years at CSM has validated my potential, taught me patience, hard work, gave me my confidence back, and showed me different type of characters and scenarios as well as how to deal with them. I realized that everything I wanted was now at my fingertips, and I just simply had to reach for it. My mom used to tell me that God or the universe always works in our favor, and it's just a matter of believing that it does and how we present to it what we want, because everything is achievable. Lastly, from every foreign experience, there are lessons to be learned. I would suggest you pay heed to those lessons, sorry, because they will definitely aid you during your journey in the next movie. Thank you.
Thank you, Fanta, and congratulations to you. It is an honor and a pleasure to introduce the College of Southern Maryland's 58th Annual Spring Commencement Speaker, CSM President Dr. Bradley Godfrey. Dr. Godfrey attended Montgomery County Community College of Pennsylvania. Subsequently, he furthered his education by earning bachelor and master's degrees in biology. In 1976, he received his PhD in zoology from Miami University of Ohio. He served as a faculty member and chief academic officer before becoming president of Sussex County Community College in New Jersey in 2000. Dr. Goff is also a historian and author of 11 books about the Civil War. In 2006, Dr. Godfrey was appointed to serve as CSM's fourth president. During his tenure, he has proven to be a visionary, an influential leader, and a community partner. His influence can be seen in the increase of partnerships and articulations, the renovating and expanding of facilities, the creation of institutes that enrich the Southern Maryland communities, and the ability to keep higher education affordable and accessible for the citizens of our region. Much of CSM's success can be attributed to his passion for lifelong learning and his embrace of the college's role in the community. His style of leadership promotes an inclusive environment where everyone is encouraged to have a role in the college's success. Dr. Godfrey has worked tirelessly to provide more accessibility to higher education by enhancing dual enrollment programs for high school students. He has partnered with the public school systems in Calvert, Charles, and St. Mary's counties to better serve students of all ages. Due to the college's focus on student success and completion, there has been a record number of graduates and more than 50 guaranteed articulation agreements to enable students to easily transfer and pursue bachelor degrees after their graduation from CSM. Also, our fourth campus, the regional Hillsville campus, which is centrally located, will ensure equal service, equal proximity, and equal access to high-quality programs that are convenient to all citizens of Southern Maryland. To promote the economic development of the region, Dr. Godfrey constantly engages with the businesses in the community to ascertain their needs in regard to workforce employment. As a result of engagements with businesses, CSM has launched new programs in cyber security, robotics, nuclear engineering technology, medical laboratory technology, digital media production, and the trades. In addition to our Hughesville campus, CSM has experienced growth with new facilities on all of the campuses, including a wellness and aquatic center at the Leonardtown campus, the flagship building at the Prince Frederick campus, and renovations at the La Plata campus with expansions to the business building and the community education building. President Godfrey's initiatives that have benefited the Southern Maryland communities are as follows: the Nonprofit Institute, the Diversity Institute of Charles County, and the Entrepreneur and Innovative Institute. These institutes are designed to help the college build stronger relationships with local businesses and organizations. Dr. Godfrey and his wife Linda have donated countless hours in helping numerous nonprofits to strategic planning, board governance, marketing, advocacy, and fundraising efforts. In 2006, when Dr. Godfrey arrived, the college was embarking on its first major gifts campaign. The goal was $5 million, but $7.7 million was realized. As he prepares to retire, the college is focused on its $10 million impact campaign. He and his wife Linda have made a leadership gift of $110,000 in cash and a deferred gift to the CSM Foundation that reflects their passion for education. Of their gift, $10,000 goes to their annual scholarship, and the remainder to the Bradley and Linda Endowment Fund as part of their living trust of the CSM Foundation. He has left a remarkable legacy of building for the future at CSF. In closing, I'd like to share a quote from President Godfrey, and here it goes. As president of this college for 10 years, I'm out in the community regularly. I know the students. I know what their dreams and aspirations are, and I know so many of them just are not able to get an education. So for Linda and me, it's giving back to the community. It's helping individuals who really want an education to be able to afford an education. You can't take your money with you, so it makes sense to leave a legacy for the college and the community. And as I say this last part, this is not on my script. Would the trustees stand, please? Thank you. So in recognition of his outstanding leadership legacy here at CSM and his pending retirement next month, we asked Dr. Bradley Godfrey to address not only tonight's graduates, but the entire community.
Well, one thing I've learned very clearly in 41 years in higher education is the thanks and the recognition goes to everyone at this college. All of our staff, all of our employees, so many people in the community have made the college what it is. I'm just one of many, but thank you for the recognition. It truly has been an honor to serve as the president of the College of Southern Maryland for the past 11 years. And I do want to thank the Board of Trustees for their ongoing support and for giving me the honor of addressing you this evening, our graduates. I have a lot in common with you, the graduates, this evening. Even though I'm at the end of my career, we're both closing the chapter called the CSM years. And as I look forward to retirement, I know that I would truly miss serving our students, our employees, and our community. But as I open a new chapter, it's my hope that I can leave you this evening with some helpful insights to serve as guideposts for your next chapter. And I want to be honest. I've served as an educator for 41 years, and as you can imagine, I've sat through a lot of these commencement speeches. Some of them have been very good, some not so good. And the reality, I can't remember many of them. And probably what I tell you tonight, I hope you remember some of it. What I don't want to tell you, and what many commencement speakers will try to do, is how to lead your life and how to be successful. You don't need me to help you choose your own path. You need to choose your own path. You need to define your own success. What I want to do this evening is to share some ideas that have served me through my entire life. And as I get older, 3 related themes become increasingly clear to me. First, live life to its fullest. Second, have the courage to be you. Live up to your potential. And third, live a life without regret. We're given one life, just one. And perhaps because of the adversity that I sustained when I was young, but from my youngest years, I had this image in the back of my mind. It was me, at the end of my life, sitting in a rocking chair. contemplating the life that I had lived. And I asked myself, would it be a life worth living? Would it be a life filled with fulfillment? Or would it be a life filled with regret? And this vision of being toward the end of my life in a rocking chair has haunted me throughout my life, and I believe has helped me in large measure to achieve some of the successes that have been articulated. I recently read a study of dying patients, and there's nothing more profound than to talk to dying patients, to really learn about life. Because the end was near, they had a remarkable clarity of their lives, their biggest regrets, and what they would have done differently. The top 5 most common regrets were interesting, but not surprising. None of these will be surprising to you. As I mention them, and not just our graduates, but everyone here, I'd like you to think about your own life and how these top 5 regrets apply to you. The number 1 regret of these dying patients: I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life that others expected of me. Too many people in this study were about to die knowing that many of their dreams had never been fulfilled. For some, it was about relationships, the ones they never pursued, or the ones they stayed in that made them miserable. For others, it was about making safe career choices, doing what brought them a good living, but not the personal satisfaction and fulfillment that they craved. The study found that most people had not even honored half of their dreams before they died. And they would die knowing it was due to the choices they made, or worse, the choices they hadn't made. Still, others realized too late that good health brings a freedom they no longer had. They took it for granted. We all take good health for granted, thinking it would always be there. It will not be. One of the most important messages I have for our graduates and all of us tonight, including myself, is to follow your dreams. Don't let anything or anybody get in your way. Sadly, every male patient talked about the second regret. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. They realized too late that by working so many hours, they missed seeing their children growing up. And they realized that they had not forged the true relationships with their partners and friends that they realized too late was so important. The remedy to all this regret is do what you love, and the money will follow. It always does. In other words, keep your priorities in order. Love first, money second. A good example of this is a young author and playwright. His father wanted him to be pursuing a safe career. He wanted him to be an attorney. It's a great career, but the son didn't want that. The young man stood firm and fought for his own dream. And thank goodness he kept his personal priorities in order, or the world would never have experienced the play Hamilton. Be like Lin-Manuel Miranda. What's your big dream? It's up to you to fight for it and share it with the world. Regret number 3, I wish I had expressed my feelings more honestly. How many times have you told your family members how much you love them? What they mean to you? Or conversely, how many times have you suppressed unhappiness or disappointed feelings so you could keep peace with others? By keeping these feelings suppressed, you don't leave room for an honest, open, and deep relationship with family and friends. Many of us don't want to rock the boat, and this can lead to a mediocre existence, and for some of us, never achieving who we really are. We may witness an injustice and just let it go because it might create a scene. Well, maybe it's time to express ourselves and our true feelings and rock that boat even a little bit. Harboring resentments, or regrets at best can lead to bitterness and unhappiness, at worst to physical illness. One of my personal regrets in this area is that I never told my father how much I loved him. He died when I was in my early 30s. I always thought he would be around. And I always regretted never telling him. So tell your parents, tell your children, tell your family, tell your friends what they mean what they mean to you, because you can never say it enough, truly. Regret number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. How many of us have formed strong friendships and relationships, and then we moved, we changed jobs, we had a quarrel, we lost touch with someone who really mattered to us. And sometimes we get so caught up in our own lives that we let these friendships just slip away. In my own experience, I had a faculty mentor when I was in college, and he believed more in me than I believed in myself. And because of his encouragement, I went on and got a master's degree and a doctorate degree, and I could never have done it without him. I went on and had a good teaching career, went into administration, and 20 years later I said, I never thanked him. But boy, he was way back then, he was very old, and I assumed he was dead. But when I reached out, he was still alive miraculously. And I sent him a very long letter, just pouring out how I felt about him, what he had done for me and done for so many people. He died a few months later, and I can stand here tonight with gratitude, knowing that I thanked him. It wasn't just for him, it was also for me. I needed to tell him that, and I did. Many of those who were about to die recalled meaningful friendships in their lives and wish they had kept in touch. Reach out before it's too late. Contact someone who means something to you. Regret number 5, I wish I had let myself be happier. Until they were about to die, many didn't realize that happiness is a choice. Some stayed stuck in old patterns and habits. They regretted choosing the comfort of familiarity rather than taking risks. Fear of change can have us pretending to others, and worse, to ourselves, that we're content. Learn to use your dreams to fuel your path forward. To truly live a satisfying life, you must take risks and you must dare greatly. Like the Good Witch in The Wizard of Oz told Dorothy, quote, "You've always had the power, my dear. You just had to learn how to use it." End of quote. When I think about my life, it's always been about taking risks, having the courage to take jobs or ask for help or pursue dreams that others thought was impossible. An inability to take risks, to do something different, to stretch yourself, is often because of the enemy of all lives, doubt. Doubt is like a cancer that grows and snuffs out dreams. If you let it invade your mind, you will lead an unhappy life. For me, my life changed when I finally believed in myself, when I cast away doubt, when I developed the courage to be me. To quote Prince E., most of us are afraid of the thief that comes in the night to steal our things. But there's a thief in your mind who's after your dreams. His name is doubt. If you see him, call the cops and keep him away from the kids because he's wanted for murder. He's killed more dreams than failure ever did. He wears many disguises, and like a virus, he'll leave you blinded, divided, and turn you into a kinda. End of quote. I want all of you to think about something that you really have wanted to do, but you didn't because of doubt. I want you to make a pledge to yourself this evening that within the next week or two, you'll go for it. You'll pull out your dream and cast aside the doubts. None of us want to regret not trying something. I also encourage you to all make a list. What are the things that you want to be able to say that you have accomplished when you're sitting in that rocking chair at the end of your life? Make a pledge to yourself that you will do all you can to live a life worth living. Trust in yourself and have the courage to be the best you. A young philosopher once said, quote, "It's not death most people are afraid of. It's getting to the end of life only to realize that you never truly lived." End of quote. One thing I've always learned, always understood in my life, is we're given just one. I've seen people have lived long lives and regretted what they did or what they didn't do and wish they could have had a do-over. Don't live a kind of life. Dream big. Our lives are meant to be lived fully and completely without regret. We never know how long we'll have, so let's start living a life free of regrets today and every day. Best wishes to all of our graduates. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm so glad that Mr. Green is behind me because I'm a senior population up here, part of the senior population, and I almost forgot to give Dr. Garfield his gift. I've always wondered what is inside of this gift.
Me too.
Thank you, Dr. Garfield.
Thank you.
We, the members of the faculty, thank you, the candidates for certification and graduation, for giving us this time in your ceremony to recognize the recipient of this academic year's Faculty Excellence Award. This award process begins with the faculty nominating colleagues who they feel deserve this recognition. Nominees submit an application describing their achievements and accomplishments in the areas of classroom teaching, institutional responsibility, professional development, and community commitment. Members of the Faculty Excellence Committee, chaired by Professor Mary Beth Klinger, review each application and assign a numerical value to each of these areas. The nominee earning the highest cumulative score is the award recipient. For the academic year 2016-2017, the Faculty Excellence Award goes to Sandra Poinsett, professor in the Mathematics, Physics, and Engineering Division. Having been a first-generation college student and working her way through college, Professor Poinsett knows how difficult it can be to get a college education, particularly for working adults. She believes that, quote, by being responsive to my students' needs, along with giving them a safe environment to learn, I feel that they can be empowered to reach for new challenges and accomplish their goals, end quote. To help our students do this, Professor Poinsett believes it is important to establish a relationship with her students based on honesty, respect, and openness. Professor Poinsett uses a variety of techniques to help her students achieve success. Students are assigned concept quizzes, which are pre-lecture quizzes on material that will be talked about in class. These give students a chance to familiarize themselves with the new vocabulary and concepts before hearing about them in class. Mathematics can be difficult. For many of our students, math is the single biggest hurdle to achieving a degree. Professor Poinsett has developed a technique specifically designed to help students who failed or received a D on their first test. These students complete a reflection paper about their preparation for the test, are allowed to make corrections on the test, and then must visit her in her office to discuss these. Finally, Professor Poinsett assesses students as they work on examples. She walks around the room checking their answers and giving them clues about where they went wrong and if their answer is incorrect. She says that this assessment gives her a sense of who is understanding and who is struggling and gives students immediate feedback. Overall, Sandy's goal is, quote, to stimulate my students' intellectual curiosity by bringing a positive energy to the classroom and helping them prepare to meet the ever-changing needs of their communities now and in the future, end quote. Sandy is extremely involved at CSM, having served on numerous teams and committees, including the Steering Committee for Middle States Reaccreditation as a Standards of Excellence co-chair, the Mentoring Committee as co-chair, and the Behavioral Review Team. Sandy has helped write and win many grants, including the National Science Foundation STEM Scholarship Grant, for which she was the principal investigator. This grant allowed CSM to award over 100 scholarships for tuition, fees, and books for STEM students, and 2 grants from the Association of Women in Mathematics to start the Women and Math program at CSM, currently starting its 13th year with continuing support from the CSM Foundation. Sandy's colleague, Professor Tom Ceremet, says, quote, the former Women in Math program, now known as Women in STEM, was the vision of Professor Sandy Poinsett. This program has had a direct and profound effect in encouraging young girls and women to pursue with confidence and support studies in mathematics. Professor Ceremet goes on to say, if you monitor the many things Sandy does here at CSM, there is a common theme. She promotes the welfare of the individual student first, and then takes that base and connects it to the academic achievement of the student. She is a very caring professor, end quote. Personally, I'm most thankful that Sandy has found the time to provide her leadership as chair of our important Faculty Academic Standards Committee and for her insights and counsel. It is with great pleasure that on behalf of the faculty, I get to present Professor Sandra Poinsett with the Faculty Excellence Award for 2017.
I'm sorry. I tell you, I'm a part of the senior population. Dr. Godfrey usually does this, and he always says I'm his boss, so I'm going to call him out tonight.
It's to recognize
The Faculty Excellence Award. Yes, okay, thank you. I'm sorry, okay. But you get what you see, okay.
Can't go now. I want to thank Dorothea Smith because she has picked up some roles that the president usually takes. I didn't want it to be the Brad Godfrey night, so that's why Dorothea has introduced the student speaker and also provided the award. But for us, the administration, the trustees, the foundation, we understand how important the faculty are. And it's a small token of the college's commitment to our faculty to provide a small check to the recipient. Well, graduates, it's your turn. You've been sitting there very patiently. But before we do, you're going to see all kinds of cords and stoles, and information is in your booklet about what they represent, inside page, and also the academic costume on the back page. We're very proud over 20% of our graduates are graduating with honors, and you can see them recognized in the actual program booklet. So, it gives me great pleasure to call upon Dr. Eileen Abel, our Vice President of Academic Affairs, to introduce our graduates.
Will the candidates for certification and associate's degrees come forward? First, Madam Chair, Mr. President, I present the candidates for certification. The faculty certify with this document that the following candidates have attained significant achievement and competence in their chosen careers. Madam Chair, Mr. President, I present for the associate's degree the candidates who have been approved by the faculty and whose names appear on the official list. Now we have the blessing of the shade. We now confer certificates in criminal justice. Unique Kayshawn Chase. We now confer the certificates in general studies. Rachel Mary Harrison. We now confer the certificates in Human Services Mental Health Technician, Renee H. Ash. Carrie L. Starks, Honors. We now confer the certificates in Pharmacy Technician, Jessica Jean Todd. We now confer the Continuing Education Certificates in Electrical Technician Journeyman, Michael Anthony Buoncontini. Matthew L. Fluharty. Richard Elton Shiro. now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in accounting, Linda M. Barbieri Strain, high honors. Amy L. Barrick, high honors. Leslie Melinda Dillman. Daniel Mason Evans. Hannah Renee Lundberg. Brandy Lynn Wilkinson. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Melanie Rose Buno Johnson. Shawan Kiera Bush. Dominique Cheek. Jordan Maximo Cruz Castillo. Dominic V. Escorpezo, honors. Kayla Lynn Fletcher. Tarika Tatiana Hall Lewis. Daniel Thomas Harrison. Kanisha Holt. Caitlin Mary Kimball, honors. Emily Ann Long, honors. Rachel Eve Newman. Isaac M. Page. Melissa Ann Reese, highest honors. Alexis Taylor Richardson Law. Emily A. Turner, honors. Jessica Noel Wood, high honors. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Applied Science and Technology, Joseph Robert Anderson, highest honors. Jenica Lynn Bark, honors. Nicole Lee Burgess, honors. Michelle Delaney. Brittany Amber Dooley, high honors. Catherine Humphreys. Trevor C. Lamarca. Brandon Demetrius Powell. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Art, Christine Ashley Morrow. Sean A. Simpson. Courtney Ray Wiley, honors. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Arts and Humanities. Madeline Rose Barton, honors. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Biological Sciences. Kayla Charisse Coghill, honors. Ashley N. Randall. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Exercise and Sports Science, Rachel Ann Bentley. Shelby Lee Buckler. Caroline Ann Foreman, highest honors. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences History, Nicholas Aaron Combs, honors. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences Music, Janice X. Stewart. Cody B. Wanda. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences Pre-Dental Hygiene, Caitlin Marie Proctor. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Social Sciences, Stephanie Lynn Arnold. Danae Danielle Grant. Samantha Nickel Joseph. Kristen Renee Mattingly. Rachel D. Nussberger, honors. Judith Padilla. Ashley Nicole Warren. Christina S. Woods. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Theater and Dance, Francis Lewis Bowles, Jr. Ricky D. Cook, Jr. We now confer the Associate of Science degrees in Business Administration, Jonathan Balaghese. Oh my goodness, are you okay? Kayla B. Carlisle. I wanted to give her plenty of room. Paula Andrea Cartagena, high honors. Kayla M. Chase. Taylor Helene Clomax. Heidi Corder Jensen. Kayla Janine Crozier, highest honors. Devaney Denise Dickerson. Shannon M. Dove. Jennifer Lynn Elswick. Selena Renee Henry. Good German name. Angela Jo Hubenschmidt, honors. It's a great thing. It is. Jessica Ann Kidd. Mikhail Gerard McMillan. Shwebar Rahman Qureshi, honors. Anissa S. Risby. Angela Nicole Stripling. Dannon J. Turner. Devin Stefan Waller. Joseph P. Wolf, Jr. We now confer the Associate of Science degrees in Business Administration, Technical Management, Phoebe Dana Bennett Griffiths, honors. Sorry. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Computer Information Systems, Jordan Lewis Vermillion. We now confer the Associate of Science degrees in Computer Science, Zachary James Albright. Jacob T. Headings, honors. Danilo Lonzel Simonette, honors. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Construction Management Technology, John Robert Flaherty. Jose Omar Rodriguez Lopez. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Criminal Justice, Tommy James Edwards. Ashley Michelle Evans. Shanae Nicole Gray. Madeline Hope McCoy. Carol Suzanne Plater. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Cybersecurity, Mohammed Ali. Jennifer Lee Anthony. Joseph Elisha Butler. Dante Pierre Colbert. Samuel N. Taman. Michael R. Tellini. Leonard John Tippett, Jr. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Digital Media Production, Amanda Marie Bowen Schaefer. Amber M. Simpson, Honors. Daya Tashel Spruill. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Early Childhood Development, Lindsay Ann Bush. Kelly L. Cleveland. Jamie Nicole Palmer. We now confer the Associate of Arts in Teaching degrees, Early Childhood, Generic Special Education, Birth through Grade 3, Caitlin Marie Hawkins. Kara M. Russell, Honors.
Go, Kara!
We now confer the Associate of Science and Engineering degrees in Electrical Engineering, Michael Lamar Laurie.
That's right.
We now confer the Associate of Arts in Teaching degrees in Elementary Generic Special Education grades 1 through 6, Deanne Simone Holton.
There you go.
Stephen Lehman Davis, High Honors.
There you go.
Jeremy Richard Myers. Dominique Marissa Mitchell, High Honors. Gina Raquel Valentino. We now confer the Associate of Science degrees in Engineering, Michael J. Bell, Highest Honors. Henry Claggett Dent III, High Honors. Ashlyn Nicole Liverman, High Honors. Chris Sidnor. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Engineering Technology, Victor Axton IV. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Engineering Technology Drafting, Andre Joseph Skarwecki. Christopher R. Young, Honors. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in General Studies, Natalie Noel Beckley, Highest Honors. Jeremy N. Bridget. Aaron J. Brown. Terry Faith Champagne. Kiran Chukte. Maria Michelle Cirillo. Christina Maria Combs, Honors. Jackie Elizabeth Cruz Castillo. Adia Kasabi Dobbs. Jessica Lauren Dugan, High Honors. Jules Angelina Estrada. Emma Lee Evans. James M. Evans. David Francis. John Taylor Gaffey, highest honors. Fonta Isatu Guy. Zachary L. Gragan. Kendall Marie Graves. Sorry. Go ahead. Kabiru Griggs. Robert Nolan Griggs, Jr. Philip Alexander Gyun Taylor. Victoria Ray Hall, high honors. Raven Cheyenne Haraway. Cristina Maria Hernandez. Brandy Ann Hicklin. Daniel Huerta Hernandez. Lacey Sadia Johnson. Carly Knott. Eric A. Kyle. Jessie Elizabeth Taylor. Carrie Lovejoy, highest honors. Kimberly Renee Lyles. Ruth S. Matos Vieira. Hope Middleton. Denise Dorothy Monroe. Elizabeth Yolanda Orozco. Erica M. Erica M. Perdomo Canales, honors. Lisa Renee Scales Pitts. Jamar Levert Reeves, high honors. Paula L. Sheldon, High Honors. Sheila Dolores Smoot. Felicia Selena Sorrells. Stephanie Renee Szerzensky. Deja Amani Tompus. Coretta P. Thompson. Karen Yvonne Washington. Jordan Nicole West. Christina Nicole White. Megan Louise Windsor. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in General Studies Communications, Ashley Alfaro Stevens. Ariel Lashana Borders. Melanie Marie Breeds. Blair Burnett. Farron Alexis Cheney. Taylor Nicole Fleming. Patricia Alvarine Lilith King. Sarah Naomi Lewis. Rashida Telfer. Bryant Joseph Woods, High Honors. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in General Studies, Criminal Justice, Derek R. Adams. Stephanie Darlene Bates. Terry Jean Carter. Alexis Lauren Clark. Danielle C. Eiler. Alexis Champel 4. Jasmine Hawkins. Juwan C. Johnson. LaShawn Denise Maddox. Leah Siobhan Parker. David Eugene Pittman III. Raekwon James Savoy, high honors. Jacqueline Noel Ship. Sheila Estrella Smith. William Lee Stiles. Sean Michael Watson. Christina Mariah Wright, honors. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in General Studies English, Sophia Byrne. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in General Studies, Forensic Studies, Taylor Marie Hall, highest honors. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Health Information Management, Deja Sidan Cardwell. Maritza Cruz. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Hospitality Management, Samantha Marie Davis. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Human Services, Jeremy Deaton Bicknell. Tiffany S. Burley, honors. Jerry Wade, honors. Adrienne Waymer Dorsey, honors. We now confer the Associate of Science degrees in Legal Studies. Shelby Lynn McCloskey, highest honors. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Management Development, Jaleesa N. Chase. Karen L. Mayo. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Massage Therapy, Jennifer K. Simon Dawes. Samantha A. Zabel, highest honors. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Nuclear Engineering Technology, Instrumentation and Control, Andre S. Broussard. Robert Palmer Stevens. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Nuclear Engineering Technology, Mechanical, Neil Lebroho Balaing, highest honors. We now confer the Associate of Science degrees in Nursing, Megan Lynn Anderson. Rachel I. Arcee. Megan Ashley Attic. Jennifer Colosi, honors. Brittany Faye Kuhn. Maria L. Davenport, high honors. Tara V. Dooley. Diana S. Ellis. Michaela Elizabeth Friesen, high honors. Ashley N. Gray. Hannah M. Heathman, high honors. Charles Michael Howard, honors. Rachel Elise Cagle. Josephine J. Kelly, honors. Ryan Reed Kuhn. Ashley Marie Lagle. Ryan Davis Langham. Jordan K. Lang. Sarah Yvonne Latimer, honors. Morgan Blaze Wilson. Keisha Linder. Ashley Maloney Rodriguez, high honors. Amanda L. Mason, honors. Stephanie Marie Milanowski. Holly Lee Miller. Nicole Michelle Mitchell, honors. Elizabeth Ann Moore. Rachel Lynn Muller. Rebecca Lynn Muller, high honors. Erin Elizabeth Park, honors. Samantha Marie Parks. Eileen Elizabeth Perry, high honors. Dylan Matthew Pauley. Ashley Nicole Peterson, honors. Haley Nicole Phillips, honors. Danielle Marie Powell. Hi. Sada Nasreen Qureshi, high honors. Catherine Van Leer Hoffman. Megan Marie Springer. Christina Marie Sproul, honors. Dana E. Stewart. Danielle Nicole Ward. Helen Keeley Welker. Nicole Elizabeth Humans. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Physical Therapist Assistant. Crystal Brooke Berry, highest honors.
Yeah, Crystal.
Emerson Theodore Hilario, highest honors. Oops, sorry. Wait just a minute. Rachel Deanne Motes, honors. Autumn L. Williams. Daniel George Gordon Young, honors. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Teacher Education Secondary. Woo! Terrence Derwin Jones. Cole A. Scott.
Okay. Will all of the degree recipients please rise? This is the part I'm going to miss. By virtue of the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the award for which you have been recommended, admitting you to all the rights and privileges which throughout the land pertain to those certificates and degrees. In testimony whereof you have received this award of the college officially signed and sealed. And now, graduates, switch your tassels.
Will the faculty please rise? In recognition of your scholarly achievement, we, the faculty, salute you and wish you Godspeed.
Well, graduates, you are now part of a large network of alumni. I'll ask all of the alums, everyone who has graduated from the College of Southern Maryland, would you please rise? Let me see who you are. Congratulations. Well, this is an event that I'm truly going to miss in the future. This is the future of our society, and our graduates will make our society so much better. I'm asking all of our guests to remain in your chairs. Please make yourself comfortable and allow the recessional to process. And then after, we're going to continue our party in Business and Industry BI, room 113. So come on over. Let's have some cake. Let's have a good time. Thank you.